Shalom. First of all, I'd like to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Salutate double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and salutations to the Archim out there doing his work in sincerity and in truth. Just a few words on the topic of being meek, to go into the importance of being meek. This first scripture I'd like to start with is Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 3. It says, seek ye the Lord, all the meek of the earth. Alright, all the meek of the earth. And the only people that can seek the Lord are you Israelites, alright, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, so forth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Alright, so the only people that's going to be hid in the day of the Lord's anger are the meek Israelites, the Lord's chosen, alright, from the destruction of this kingdom. Now I wanted to go from here to look at the definition of being meek, because the scripture just told you to seek meekness, alright, and it's talking specifically to the men that are supposed to hear this word, which are Israelites, alright, the meek of the earth. So let's look at the definition. It says poor, humble, afflicted, meek. Alright, you Israelites are afflicted. We're the people that walk the earth, a cursed nation of people, alright, pertaining to the curses in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, which are placed upon our people, the Israelites. Alright, we're afflicted, we're poor, needy, alright, we're in need of salvation, and weak, poor, weak, and afflicted, you know, because hey, first of all, starting with our minds, if you don't have the scriptures and its truth and wisdom and understanding, then you're weak, all right, you have no defense, all right, and you're not going to be able to withstand the evil day. And second of all, you're weak because you have no defense against this devil and the things that he you know, the oppression that he does to our people. All right, you don't have a military, and you can't defend yourself physically or mentally. All right, so you're weak. And also says lowly. Now moving on to the point where it says seek meekness. All right, the word there for meekness is humility, being humble. So the importance of being meek or being humble is that you'll receive salvation. So continuing on from here, I'm going to go to Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So we're commanded to be the opposite of that. All right, to be the opposite of being proud is to be humble. All right, to be lowly, have a low opinion of oneself. Because right now, the reason why this kingdom is going to be destroyed, one of the reasons is because of the pride. So continuing on, next scripture is going to be James, where is it, 4 and 6. It says, do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy, but he giveth more grace? Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. All right, and the only people that's going to receive grace is the brothers that you know, pipe down and become humble. That's why a lot of guys can't get this, man, because they got their lives, they got their jobs, they got their reputation, you know. And a lot of people, when this destruction starts, they're going to seek the truth and not find it. It's going to be too late because they didn't want to, you know, be humble. All right. They considered the things of their life now to be far more important or greater than the things in the spirit. All right. I'll read it again. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud. but giveth grace unto the humble. So that's why a lot of guys walk past camp and they can't get it, because the value that they place on themselves, they could never come into doing this work. All right, they're too proud. You know, that's why the scriptures talks about the foolishness of prophesying, because we're gonna look foolish to the unlearned eye, but that just comes with its territory. So this is Matthew chapter 18 verse 4. It says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So you've got to simmer down. You know, the truth, you know, is about taking L's and learning how to deal with loss, man. Could be loss of family, could be loss of a job, whatever it may be. You've just got to take it on the chin and become comfortable being uncomfortable. From here, 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing had happened unto you. Yeah, because when you're in this truth, a lot of things are going to happen that never happened before. And like I said, this truth is about taking losses, and you got to become accustomed, get comfortable being uncomfortable. All right, you gotta just deal with those losses, because it's really to make you a better man, you know, to purify you. All right, to condition you for the times to come. And it's character building, so it's not a negative thing. That's one of the main things that these jakes walking the earth today lack, character. So from here, I'm gonna go to 2nd Esdras. You know, I'm gonna read it in the Bible just to save time. 2nd Esdras 14 and 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. All right, and that weak nature being the flesh. All right, we're always wanting to please the flesh, and you know, thinking in a carnal manner. There's plenty other things that we could be doing with our time, you know, within the spiritual rather than the, you know, the physical. People just want to, you know, this scripture tells you that this is not our rest. So we ain't supposed to be striving to be successful in this world. That's why a lot of guys will get proud and passionate about the wrong things, because they don't see the things to come, and the things that are now are temporal. They seek that job, and when they don't, they take the L. You know, they fall out the truth because they're just fed up of taking the loss. You know, they tried to make a business, it didn't work. You know, investments didn't work, relationship didn't work, family life didn't work, and eventually they fall out of the truth because they can't take no more. But the scripture commands us to let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. It continues on, it says, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Yeah, because you know the prophecies, therefore you become content and stable. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happier shall be done hereafter. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So we're coming into perilous times, a time of evil, you know, a low time. So you got to be mentally prepared, and that's what the Lord's doing, is conditioning your mind through that fiery trial. So Matthew 23:12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. So some guys resist order and don't want the apostles to be over them. So they try and set up camps their own self and go out and teach the truth. Well, teach what they will call the truth. And then, you know, they bastardize it and they start teaching other things because they want to break things down their own way. And they see themselves as being an authority and don't want to respect the elders. But the scripture just commanded us to, you know, be abased, to be humble. And then the Lord will exalt us in that time, in the time of his return. You know, the main thing is this truth is what needs to be exalted. Yahweh Shai is what, our foundation in which we need to push. We're not here to push our own selves and, you know, be proud about our own selves, man. The scriptures talk about being unprofitable servants. And that's exactly what we are. So from here I'm going to go to Philippians 4:11. And that's my last scripture. It says, "Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content." Alright, so we're supposed to be content in the current situation we're in. You know, our daily bread being such as, you know, you go to work, you pay your bills, and you allocate your money. You know, you save, and you allocate your money, whether you give alms, you know, according to the little that you have, you give alms, you know, help brothers out, apostles, and so forth. But you ain't supposed to be, you know, wasting money to fulfill your, to fill the lust of the flesh. You know, you might have a bit spare money or so forth, man, but you just use it wisely, you know, you apply yourself. Continuing on, it says, "I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Yahweh Shai, which strengthen me." So the point is, you're supposed to follow the examples of the apostles, and the apostle Paul was a great example. You know, he had been in poverty, and he had also been in times where he had more money, you know, or in wealth, in prosperity. So you basically got to apply yourself in all aspects of the, you know, the highs and the lows. But the main thing is to remain spiritual in all things, all right? Do all things through the Spirit, and that way you won't, you know, allow those increases, your heart to be lifted up when you're increased. You know, so the point is, stay humble, you know, keep under yourself, stay in order, and do things through the Spirit. You know, and remember, we're under grace. All right, but grace is not something that lasts forever. So, you know, be meek, man. Be repentant for the sins that you commit. So anyway, with that was a little lesson on humility and meekness. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.